Hello and welcome back on my YouTube channel, Parth Doshi, Learning by Doing. So this is another video in the test automation series. So what are we going to see in this video? Till now we have seen what is a test case, how can you build a test case. In the second video of this series, we have seen how can you generate the random data that you might need for testing if the data is not already available. Now in this third video, we are going to see how can we create a workflow that can be later converted to a test case and how we are going to convert it. Also, there are three different, you can say, sequences or steps or process in which a test case is designed. So we are going to understand each of them. The three of them are given, when, and then. So these are the three parts of a test case. You see when you convert the main XAML file into that. So we are going to see what are these three different parts or categories in a test case and how can we convert a workflow in that. I'm going to use a very simple workflow to demonstrate this complete concept, and maybe later we will see some more advanced use cases and how you can test them. Or if you are trying something like that and you want me to make a video on that, then I can do that as well. So let's get started. Okay. So now let me show you the workflow that I have built. So this is a very simple workflow that you can see right on my screen. So what are we doing in this particular workflow is we are going to take salary as an input, which is going to be our test data that we are going to test. Now, if salary is greater than 5,000, so you see this is a flowchart, and if you see this particular project is a XAML file, a normal XAML file. It's not a test case. If you see testing.xaml. Now what I've done is salary is my input, right? Convert dot to int 32, and I'm converting my salary, which is in string, into integer and checking if it is greater than 5,000 or not. And if it is greater than 5,000, now one thing that you need to make sure is whatever your inputs or outputs are going to be, you keep them as arguments, because we are going to convert the same workflow into a test case and not build a complete another workflow, right? So make sure you have them as arguments, and if you are creating some variables for only the processing and all that, then you can keep them as variables. But other than that, whatever you want to give the input and take the output in your test case to verify or to do any other further processing, make sure they are as arguments. So this is the one point that you need to keep in mind. So I have two arguments, salary and eligibility. Salary is going to be my input, which we are checking if it is greater than 5,000 or not. And the second one is we are setting the eligibility, right? So if it's greater than 5,000, I'm just setting the eligibility to yes using the assign statement. And if not, then we are setting it to no. Okay. So this is what, we have built a simple process. We are not doing any complex processing through it, but we are going to understand how this workflow is going to now get converted into a test case. So let me just click on this. I have already converted it, but let me show you. Once you click on this, you see an option, convert to test case. When you click on that, this is directly getting converted. So this is the one option that you have, but convert to workflow and create a test case of this particular workflow. So when you click on create a test case, you get a prompt, to add whatever you want, and I'm just going to click on create. So now my test case 2 is created, and as I told you, okay, let me keep it this only. As I told you, we are going to have three particular parts or stages in our test case, that is given, when, and then. Now what is the importance of each of them and what purpose does it serve in a test case? Let's understand that. Given is basically the inputs that we are having. So here our given parameter or argument is going to be salary, because we are going to give that input to our test case or to our workflow that we have built, right? So now given when this particular salary input, when this particular processing is executed, after execution, do this. So that comes in the then. So our input is going to be the given part, our processing is going to be when, and after that it is going to be then, that what should we do after this is processed. So do you need to verify something or do you need to just display something? So what are we going to do over here is, I will just simply copy this and let me paste it over here, right? So let me create a variable salary, right? So I have just used a input dialog wherein we will be giving the salary input. Here I am not using any Excel data or anything as such. We have seen that in previous video, how can we create a data driven test case. Here I'm just going to pass the data at the runtime. Let me import the arguments. The value here is going to be, let me cancel this variables. Let me make the scope and let me declare one more as output. Okay, and yes, so let me import this again. Salary is here, and here I need to, I think, create the same one, copy, um, paste, and okay, and let's make it as test case 2, and let's delete the output, right? So now I'm going to pass an input through my given sequence to this particular workflow, right, which is going to be salary, and the output is going to be eligibility. Let me use a message box, right? So let's print eligibility. Let me copy this. Right, so given is my input. Again, I'm just trying to explain the steps that we have built. Given when are this particular test cases we are going to be used, and then the message box we are displaying the output is what the outcome, right? So let me just simply click run file, and now we should have the input dialog. Yes, so let me enter 6,000 eligibilities. Yes, so you see, this is how at a specific given input, when this particular steps are to be executed, then we get this output. So I think now you will be able to relate how this complete concept in a test case it is, and how they are related to each other. So let's do one more. This is the simple video which I've created. You see, the process is not at all complex because I just wanted to explain this concept to you. Now once you have understood the concept, we can move ahead to create complex test cases which involves Excel file or maybe UI automation or something like that. There is something called activity coverage as well, which we will be seeing later on. Eligibility is no. So you see, this is how. Now if I want to you know use my this same workflow, I have to just add the input parameters over here, or maybe how am I going to take the input in my actual workflow. So by just eliminating that steps or adding that steps, you can easily convert your workflow to a test case and do the vice versa, right? So this is how a workflow is converted to a test case, to a different test case, and keeping the workflow as workflow, or you can create a test case out of it as well. So I hope this complete concept of creating a text case using your main XAML file, what are the test case components, given, when, and then. Again, let's just do a quick recap of that. So it's basically when at a particular given input, when we are processing what it is, the complete business process, then we should be getting this output, right? So the output in then what we have over here, this can also be verified using the verify activities, but I did not feel the need of using them over here because we were just trying to understand the concept. Once we have understood this concept in for the videos, when we are trying to implement some complex use case and create a test case out of it, we will be using this as well. So I hope you got a complete understanding of what a test case is, how can you build your test case, and how to pass the arguments, and what you need to keep in mind when you are creating a workflow which you later want to use as a test case. Thank you for watching the complete video, and please do subscribe if you haven't already yet. Thank you.